But you know what Jim Cornette said about my book?
What'd he say?
He said, Bill Apter's book sucks. He doesn't bury anybody.
Well, you're right in there. You don't have any enemies that you know of.
No, when I undertook this book project, which ECW Press approached me with a long time ago, I said, I'm going to write the way I always wrote, and I don't write anything bad about anybody. Because the worst thing, people that are internet reporters, they say, so-and-so won't let me into their show, and it's a little indie show. I said, well, what did you write about them? Well, I said, their shows suck, but they can get better. I said, if you tick somebody off, you've already made yourself an enemy. So
Yes.
Just be careful. When you can knock something creatively very easily, it's the way you say it. So, yeah. And I rarely use 4-letter words here, but I'm going to use one. Don't piss anybody off, and then you can stay in the business. Yeah.
That's right. And in your book, you talk about that. Some of your, in the early 70s, when you were going to shows, sometimes Vince McMahon Sr. or those guys I read about, if they saw something in the magazine that you didn't own, but you were part of it, they looked at you and said, hey.
I was the face. Yeah.
Yes. And what was that kind of like? I mean, you kind of explain it in your book some, but give me a little more detail.
Scary. That was very scary because I was on the road a lot and did most of the photography. And there are a lot of stories I didn't write and I never really got to see. And then a promoter would come over to me and he says, what is this crap? What did you? I said, oh, I didn't write that. And they would really get mad. And some promoters actually try to ban me from coming into their shows. The worst one was when Mr. Weston got this exceptional set of photos from Theo Errett, our California photographer. And he opened it up and he called me into the office and he laid them out on the table. And it was 2 gorgeous, sexy bikini ladies in an apartment making like they were wrestling. He says, we're going to create a thing called apartment wrestling. I said, for what magazine? Sports Review. So I said, the guys in the business and the promoters, I don't care. I'm a publisher. I'm in this to make money, not to please them. So as soon as the apartment wrestling stuff started coming out, people like Chief J. Strongbow came over to me and said, don't put me in this magazine with this porn. That back then that was considered pornography probably. Yeah. But yet that magazine sold better than almost any other magazine because kids would buy the magazine, and the parents, hey, it's a wrestling magazine. Oh, they just happen to put this in it. Okay, well, don't look at those pages. But yeah, there's a lot of heat over that. And there are a lot of people, promoters and wrestlers, who were angry, furious over the rankings. Hey, Bill, you made me number 3, and you said that this guy is better than me, making him number 2? I said, well, this was 3 months ago. It doesn't matter. How could you make him even number 2 ever? And they were really, and then eventually when the PWI 500 came around, I didn't write that. And that wasn't even my idea. But the first 100 guys, we sat in a conference room, all the editors, and we ranked the top 100 guys there.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you that when I went out in the field, if a guy was number 101 or 102, he was furious, or, it was horrible. Number 1 and number 500. Well, everybody was very grateful.